It's Kilo, and as you can tell by the title, this called He Hurt Me. He did, but I ain't hurt no more. So I'm basically going to be talking about how to get over being in an abusive relationship. I was in one for about, I want to say like on and off 5 years. No. I just want you to know it's not okay.
As much as you think, oh, I love him, he gon' change, he gon' do this, he ain't gon' change. Gonna change for a little bit, they gonna be the same devil that he was before. So I'm just
gonna tell you what basically helped me get over my situation. That's why it's easy for me to talk about it now, because I'm not really affected by it anymore, because I moved on and I'm very happy. So I'm on my pillow. Put that over here. Alright, got my little background. Alright. So what you have to understand first is you have to make that decision. Nobody can make the decision for you. You can say all day, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna leave him, I'm gonna do that. You ain't gonna leave him, you ain't gonna go nowhere until you love yourself. When you decide to love yourself, that's when you get your little cute self up, walk out, and leave him right there in the dust. So what I noticed is some people that I know, they're in the same kind of like situation that I was in, and it's like I talk to them and like I hear them telling me things, and I try to give them advice, and I'm like, well, why is she not listening? Why are they not listening? But it's like, did you listen? No, because I didn't. I didn't listen to nobody. I was young, dumb, in love. I guess you can call love. Oh, don't look at my finger. It's all kind of ratchet. But yeah. So this happens to me sometimes. Like I lose my chain of thought, and it's so annoying. All right, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So I didn't listen when my friends tried to tell me. So why do I expect them to listen to me now? So the number one thing is, like, you have to remember you come first. You're important. You matter, and you better love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. And if you don't love yourself, you're gonna allow yourself to be treated like crap. So it's not your fault. Some people blame themselves, like, well, maybe I'm doing this and maybe I should do this later, or I have kids with this person, or like there's just tons and tons and tons of excuses. There's no excuse to be in a relationship where you're being disrespected, where you're being abused, where you're being a target, where you're being a doormat. There's no excuse. Only excuse is you, because you're sitting there and you're allowing it to happen. Now, I'm not sitting here saying like it's not hard, because trust me, I know how hard it is to walk out that door. Some people may be like, he's putting his hands on you and he's calling you all types of names. Why'd you stay? You must like that. You know, somebody actually told me one time, you like it, that's why you stay. Yeah, you know, I just like getting beat upside my head every other fucking day. That's exactly what I like. Thank you. I'm glad you know what I'm into. But anyways, so no, that doesn't mean you like it. It's just a scary situation and it's hard to get out of. But it's alright, because you can make it through. I made it through. That's another story time for another day. If you want to hear the story, go ahead and comment below. Make sure you like and you subscribe to my channel though. Alright, thank you. So yeah, you gotta like love yourself. Like you have to build yourself up to, okay, you know what, I can do this. I can walk away. Like I can be like, I think the most thing that people are afraid of is being by themselves, or what somebody else is gonna say. Who cares what anybody else is gonna say? Because baby, if that ends in a bad way, he gonna move on with his life, and everybody else that you thought was gonna have something to say, they gonna move on with their lives. And what's gonna happen to you? You're gonna be stuck somewhere dead cold alone, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna give you the top 3 things to help you move on. Number 1, like I said before, love yourself. 2, have a plan. And 3, Don't be scared. Don't be scared. We can't be scared. We gotta be strong. We're strong women, black, white, green, yellow, whatever. We're strong women, and we gotta make sure that we let these men know you can't treat me like that. Like my new man, he know better. He ain't crazy. But anyways, I'm sorry guys. I make a joke out of it because it's really touchy subject. Like I'm not so like hurt. I'm not hurt by it anymore, but I have learned such a better lesson. I've become such a better person from it. So like you have to stop making excuses for these people, like, oh well, he was drunk, or you know, he's had a rough day, he can't find a job, he's kind of stressed out, and he's this and he's that. And it's like, okay, so you're not stressed out, you don't have nothing going on, so it's okay for you to act that way too, right? That's fine. Cool. No, it's not okay. It's not fine. There's no excuse. Love is a word that you say. Love is an emotion, but it's an emotion that can go away and can resurface with the right person. You don't need a man to make you feel validated. The more you allow someone to abuse you and mentally break you down, you're saying it's okay. Is what you're saying. You're saying it's fine. I'm not worth it anyways, so let me just have this person, you know, stomp on me. Let me have this person call me a bitch. Let me have this person call me a hoe. Let this person disrespect me in front of all these people. And what worries me the most is, why do we allow ourselves to get down to that point to where it's like we don't love ourselves enough that we're just gonna let anybody treat us the way that we want? Why do we feel like that's alright? It's not okay. That's not how you're supposed to be. That's not how you're supposed to be treated. You're not supposed to be treated like shit. And regardless if they tell you they're not gonna treat you like shit again, you should have known from the 30th time they told you they weren't gonna do it that it's not gonna change. Once they are how they are, that's just how they are. The more you allow it, the more it's gonna continue. So what kind of scares me is when people have children and they're in this situation, like they're in an abusive situation, and it's like, oh well, I want to have a family. Okay, I get that. You want to have a family. That's fine. That's okay. But what are you going to do when your daughter gets older and she meets a guy and he starts abusing her and he starts calling her all types of names and she comes crying to you? What are you going to do? Look her in her eye and tell her, well, you need to leave her? So she can look right back at you and be like, well, you didn't leave daddy. What can you say at that point? You can't. You have to lead by example. What are you going to do when you have a son and your son starts treating women like that and he thinks it's okay? When your son starts disrespecting you, what are you going to tell him? You need to respect me. I'm your mother. You want me to respect you and you don't even respect yourself? Don't think your kids can't see that, because they can. They notice that. They see that. And it affects them in the long term, and it can affect your life, and you don't get it. Sometimes it's not worth it. Like, I understand, because I was there, so like I didn't have any kids, but I was like, I put so much time and effort in this, and I don't want to let it go, and I want to keep it, and you know, like I made all these excuses, like, no, it's gonna change, it's alright, maybe if I just don't talk today, or maybe if I don't say this, maybe if I don't. Nobody wants to walk on eggshells around their partner. Like, you can't do that. It's not okay. So I think that's the main thing that we just need to realize. Like, it's not alright. Like, you have to think for yourself. If you're in a relationship, if you're in this relationship by yourself, if you have kids, you need to think about your kids in the long term. You need to really get in touch with what's important to you. Where do you want your future? Do you want to be successful and living a good life and you want to be happy? How are you going to be happy when you have this devil weighing and picking at you and picking at you and picking at you and picking at you until you're no more? How can you be happy? How can you be a positive person? How can you move on with your life? How can you do anything? Like, yeah, like sometimes the I love you and the kisses and the the things you want to hear, they sound so good to you that you forgot last week when he slapped you in front of his mother. Like, you forgot that because he told you what you wanted to hear. Because abusive men or women, I don't know, abusive people know how to get in your head. They manipulate you to make you feel like you're nothing. And if you continue to let it happen, you're going to start feeling like you're nothing. And you're going to be stuck in a situation that's going to be so hard for you to get out of. It's scary. Like I tell people, when you get signs over and over and over and over and over, and you continue to overlook those signs, then eventually that one big brick is going to hit you for the last time to try to get you to understand. And if that brick don't do enough, then how you going to break yourself down? At that point, the only person that can save you is you. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I thought when I left mine, like, I would be alone. It's like, I'm gonna be alone. I'm never gonna be able to recover from this. Like, it's just, I don't care. I don't want to deal with men no more. But then I met someone who showed me something different. There's people out there that show you something different. It don't necessarily need to be a relationship. You can have a friend that they'll show you something different. They'll show you how to enjoy your life without being attached to someone, without having this weight on you, without being upset all the time, without dealing with stuff. Like, love, I just want people to love themselves. Like, it took me so long to be able to love myself. Like, my life right now is not perfect. And when I look back to like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I look back at my life, I'm like, yo, like, I got it good. Like, right now, I'm moving forward with my goals. But if I would have stayed in my toxic situation, that's all it would have been. My life would have just been toxic. It wouldn't be where it is right now. So just remember, if you're going through anything, look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm good enough, I'm worth it, and I don't want to be toxic no more. If you tell yourself that at least every day, and you pray on your knees, and you ask God to help you get through it, you will get through it. You will look back at that situation, you will look back at yourself and say, well, what was I thinking? Why was I tripping? Like, why was I going crazy? Like, what was my problem then? Like, I do that now. I'm like, what was wrong with me? Like, what was going through my head? Why did I feel like that was okay? Why did I allow myself to be there? And another good thing that would help you is, like, if you write it down. Write down your emotions every day. Write down what's happening. I don't want to hear nothing about a list and their good sides and their bad sides, because when I tell you, abuse, it overrides anything good that you may see in that person, because someone good and someone who loves you will not hurt you. Someone who's good and like, loves you with all their heart and wants to treat you right, someone like that will never want to see you cry, will never call you out your name, will never hurt you. Like, how could you think that this person loves you and will sacrifice their life for you when they don't even care if they hurt you? Why would you think that? Like, you're bugging. If you really, like, you're bugging. Mom, I don't judge. Like I said, I don't judge. I've been through it. I understand when somebody's telling you, like, I done dropped my mouse. But I understand when it's hard sometimes to move on. It's hard to let something go, but sometimes the best thing you have to do for yourself is let that thing that's holding you back, let it go. The more you allow it in your heart, in your life, in your mind, it's gonna take over and it's gonna control. I kind of like skipped what I was saying before, but if you write down like your everyday like activity, or like if something bad happens that day, write it down. If something good happens that day, write it down. Write down your goals. Where do you see yourself in 3 years? I would say 3 is minimum. How long you want to do, whatever you want to do, it's fine. Where do you see yourself? And say, do I see myself in this situation? Do I see myself with this person? And if I stay with this person, am I going to get here? Or am I going to get there? Because it can only escalate the abuse. One day they may just snap. And that'd be the last time you open your eyes again. And really need to think about that. Do I want that to be me? Is that really what I want? Do I want that to be me? So just think about how important you are, because you're beautiful, you're smart, you're gonna make it in life. You don't need anybody to tell you who you are. Just remember that. Don't need anybody to tell you who you are. You don't need anybody to put you down. You don't need anybody that's gonna disrespect you. You need someone that's gonna lift you up. Lift you up to the stand that you are, to be the queen or king that you are. Just remember that. Like, don't let nobody play you. Don't let nobody do you. Don't do it. It'll be like, it's the worst mistake. And I understand that love, sometimes you feel love conquers all. But when you get real love, true love, you will never feel any kind of pain again. And you just gotta remember that. See what you want. Well, my little advice that I'm gonna just letting out there. I've been through it. I know. If you anything you want to know, any questions, feel free to comment. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell, because I'm going to try to at least post like 2 videos a week. I'm gonna try. It's kind of hard, but I will do it if this video gets enough likes. But also, if you want to hear the story time about my crazy relationship, go ahead and let me know, and I'll do a story time. Hope everybody has a good day. Bye.